Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today our group will present practice of medical takaful in Malaysia. Next slide, Africa. Okay, this is our presentation outline. Next slide. Okay, what is takaful? The word takaful is derived from the Arabic verb kafala, which simply means to jointly guarantee. Technically, takaful is defined as the pact between at least two parties agreeing to jointly guarantee one another in the event of loss as a consequence of being afflicted by a calamity defines the term takaful. There are two types under takaful, namely family takaful and general takaful. The former includes life takaful, education plan, marriage plan, and so on, while later includes property takaful, motor takaful, and so on. Takaful industry in Malaysia has been a rapid growth since its inception in 1984. Next slide. This is the evidence in Surah Al-Ma'idah and from Ahmad and Abu Dawud. Next. Health and medical takaful. Medical and health takaful certificate is a certificate of takaful that provides specific benefits against risk of persons becoming totally or partially incapacitated as a result of sickness or infirmity. The benefit may take the form of reimbursement of medical expenses incurred by the participant. The benefit can be in the form of lump sum payment of the sum participates or payment of an allowance or income stream at regular intervals for a specific period in the event of participants. Medical and health takaful, in one way public can reasonably afford to pay for the cost of such treatment by pooling resources in the takaful fund with other participants. Next slide. Right now, I will pass the slide to the second person or second presenter.
Assalamualaikum. I'm a second presenter, and this is the example for the one takaful company in Malaysia. So if we go to the website of this, there are the some rules from this takaful, such as the eligibility guidelines, benefits and limit, fees and charges, certificate, endorsement and service, and claim procedure and exclusion that we can learn detail in this page. Next. So in the takaful Malaysia company, there are the products, general products and family products. The general products include takaful for motor, takaful for travel, takaful for personal account, and takaful for most care. And the family product includes takaful for medical care and the takaful for temp. Next. This is an example for the takaful model that is used by the takaful Malaysia. So participant will do the contribution, from the contribution it will go, Wakala fees will go to the takaful planner. And the participant fund will go to Tarabu. And then Tarabu will go to participant risk fund, and the surplus will outcome. The outcome surplus will share to both takaful operator and to the takaful participant. Next. So there are two categories of health takaful. Firstly, indemnity certificate, and secondly, benefit certificate. In identified certificate, it reaffirms the participant and patient as expense of income. And this certificate will cover person in the same financial position as before. And the identified certificate is the occurrence of the cover risk. For example, hospitalization and surgical takaful. The another type is benefit certificate. Benefit certificate pays a predetermined sum of money if a cover event occurs during a certificate period. For example, hospitalization, cash benefit plans, and critical illness takaful. Next, then my friend will continue the last slides.
Rain, you are the next presenter.
Okay, which are covered under health takaful. First, hospital service and professional fees. Second, hospitalization benefits. Third, critical illness. Next, which are not covered by health takaful. Venereal disease infection or parasite. Second is murder or physical assault. Third is cosmetic or plastic surgery. Next is pre-existing illness at the time of application. Then claims for illness or injury caused through illegal or unlawful acts. And last is pregnancy or childbirth. Next.
My name is Nur Afika binti Azami. Terma dan syarat takaful. First, pre-existing condition is are disabilities that existed before the effective date of the plan for which you are receiving treatment or have shown symptoms. Selain itu, orang yang dilindungi boleh dianggap mempunyai pengetahuan yang menasabah mengenai keadaan yang sudah ada di mana syaratnya adalah orang yang dilindungi telah menerima atau sedang menerima rawatan. Mensiap perubatan, diagnosis atau rawatan yang telah disyorkan, gejala yang jelas dan keberadaannya dapat dilihat oleh orang yang menasabah dalam keadaan itu. Misstatement of age. Salah laku umum. Age is an important factor in medical and healthy takaful because it will affect the contribution rate. Sekiranya umur orang yang dilindungi telah dikurangkan, perbelanjaan yang layak akan disesuaikan dengan jumlahnya tiba setelah mendarabkannya dengan jumlah sumbangan yang dibayar melebihi sumbangan yang dikira berdasarkan umur sebenar orang yang dilindungi pada tarikh berkuat kuasa. Qualifying period, tempoh kelayakan. The eligibility of benefit under the takaful plan will only start 30 days after the effective date of the certificate. Kebiasaannya, rancangan perubatan mempunyai tempoh menunggu 30 hari dari tarikh kuat kuasa. Rancangan perubatan untuk penyakit biasa, untuk penyakit tertentu seperti hipertensi, diabetes, mellitus dan penyakit kardiovaskular, tempoh menunggu adalah 120 hari dari tarikh kuat kuasa, dan untuk penyakit tertentu seperti barah, tempoh menunggu adalah 60 hari. Dan CO takaful, a form of medical cost sharing in a medical and healthy takaful plan that requires a cover person to pay a state percentage of medical expenses after the deductible amount, if any, was paid. Takaful bersama hanya menjadi masalah sekiranya kos rawatannya tinggi atau memerlukan rawatan hampir setiap bulan. Next. Next, group medical and healthy takaful plan. Pelan takaful perubatan dan kesihatan. Group medical and healthy takaful plan is similar in cover to individual medical and healthy plan. It is a normally employer-sponsored coverage for business owner, employees, and often for dependents. The contribution for group medical and health plan is calculated based on the following: first age of the group and degree of occupational hazard. Example, degree of risk that is peculiar to a particular type of occupation. Next to the net physician report.
Okay, my name is Nurul Syafiqah binti Roza. Okay, takaful underwriting. Underwriting is a term used by takaful operator to describe the process of assessing risk, ensuring that the cost of the cover is proportional to the risk faced by the individual concerned. In simple terms, it's a risk selection process. Its purpose is to determine if application represents risk acceptable to the takaful operator, to determine whether or not the takaful operator which issue or certify to an applicant. Next. Okay, process of takaful underwriting. Okay, first, collection of information. This process takes place when the applicant proposal submit the application to assess a person risk. The underwriter release on information from a range of sources. Next, the risk selection process. In this step, the underwriter decide whether or not to accept a particular risk. The underwriter is typically edit by a list acceptable and provide risk. Okay, second, medical underwriting. Third, medical underwriting. The process of reviewing a medical and health takaful professional medical record and determine the level of risk. Okay, lastly, underwriting decision. Once the analysis of the provided information is complete, the underwriter basically has three options. First, standard, approve, substandard or modify, and last, decline. Okay, next. Okay, renewal of medical and health takaful has four different renewable options. First, non-cancelable and guarantee renewable. Second, guarantee renewable. Third, conditional renewable. And last, optional renewable. Okay, for the next slide, I will pass to my friend.
Okay, my name is Putri Natika Nabila. Okay, payment of contribution. The payment of contribution will depend on the type of the certificate. Some certificates are issued on cash before cover basis, whereas other certificate may be subject to the 60 days contribution warranty. A grace period may be allowed in the case of guaranteed renewable certificates, conditional renewal certificates, and non-cancelable certificates to provide the convenience to the certificate owner to make the payment. However, any claim occurring during the grace period is not payable, although the takaful operator will not consider the certificates as lapsed. The certificate will only be considered lapsed if no contribution is made before the end of the grace period. Next. Termination of certificate. Events that can terminate takaful automatically. Death of the participant, certificate anniversary immediately following the participant's maximum eligibility age. Total benefits paid under the certificate exceed the maximum limit specified in the benefit schedule. Next. Conclusion. Human beings exist in this world in a state of uncertainty as we are lack of the knowledge of the future happening. There would be no risk if we know that what will happen in the future. Without risk, there will be no need for protection. But in reality, we can only anticipate the future based on our past experience. Thus, medical takaful is a monetary coverage against any critical illness. In it is thus submitted that healthcare insurance is one of the strategic plans that the operators have designed to help one monetarily who unexpectedly ought to have been diagnosed with illness. Consequently, no contradiction with the Sharia or cooperative principle. Thank you. That's all from us.